What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back here with another realistic rebuild, as today we're in the Eastern Conference with the Atlanta Hawks. And the Atlanta Hawks so far off to a decent start to the season. The whole Eastern Conference is just kind of bad at the moment in general, but there's a couple things to be excited about when it comes to this Hawks roster, so let's just go ahead and jump in, rebuild the Atlanta Hawks in 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. And when it comes to those two things to be excited about, Dyson Daniels has been fantastic for Atlanta, and Zachary Richichet has shown some promise as well. So I think you could be really excited about that going forward. Whether Trae Young is here or not for the foreseeable future, I definitely think there's some things to be optimistic about going forward. So with that being said, we are of course just going to simulate the rest of year one. So here's the starting five: Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Zachary Shea, Jalen Johnson, Clint Capella, Okongwu, Hunter, Bogdan, Larry Nance, and then David Roddy. So that is fine. We're going to simulate the rest of year one, and I do think it's a decent possibility that Atlanta moves Capella at the deadline, considering I do believe he is an expiring salary. So I definitely think it makes sense to probably move him out of here. You give Okongwu the starting center spot, or maybe bring in a different five eventually, who knows. But I do think that's probably the best way to go about things to start this video, is probably trading Capella, unless of course we're on a playoff run. Then maybe we really need to consider keeping him, because like I said, right now the whole Eastern Conference isn't great. I mean, like, as you can see, 7 and 8 right now, under 500 is the 5th seed. It's still beginning of the season, don't get me wrong, but yeah, Eastern Conference is off to a very slow start. You got teams like Philadelphia, who just lost Memphis tonight. Milwaukee just got a win against Chicago, but they're at 5 and 9. I mean, I guess it's 6 and 9 now. But and then the Hawks. I'm sort of recording this while that game is almost over, but it looks like they're going to lose this one as well. So I guess we can go ahead and just put a forced win on the Warriors really quickly. But other than that, let's go ahead. And by the way, start today is finally working in 2K, so that's cool. So let's simulate the rest of year one, unless of course I stop at the trade deadline to maybe move on from Clint Capella, maybe someone else as well. Today's video is brought to you by Daily Grind Fantasy's Optimizer. If you play on apps such as Prize Picks, Underdog, or any of these popular DFS apps, having a tool like this is insanely clutch to have to finding good plays right in front of you without having to do zero research whatsoever. So, of course, we look at the Prize Picks board at the moment. And right now for Sunday football, Jalen Waddle under 3.5 receptions looks like it's favored by the books. So FanDuel has this at -146, which is a book known to be pretty sharp in player props. You also have LaMelo over 6.5 assists. You have Miles Bridges over 15.5 points. As you can see, clear discrepancy here. Pinnacle has this at 16.5, along with Caesars and BetMGM as well. So we love taking a discrepancy over 15.5. It's just like if you're buying anything. Same thing with Randall here. You got books listing this higher than 34.5. But just like if you're buying anything, you're going to buy at the cheapest place possible. If you can control it, obviously, like, grocery shopping or car shopping, whatever it may be, you kind of take that same principle in the sports betting, and it's profitable over the long term. So if you want to check out Daily Grind Fantasy for Underdog, Prize Picks, Dabble, or any of these popular DFS apps, links down in the description below. Use code Crushables, 25% your first month. Other than that, let's get back to the rebuild. So it's decided against stopping the trade deadline because I was 100% ready to move on from Capella, but this team went on a run, man. Zachary Shea, your rookie of the year. Amon, 6th man. A defensive player goes to Wembanyama. Cade, most improved. And Trae Young is coach player. Jason Kidd, also coach of the year. And Jordan Hobson is your executive. But yeah, let's get straight into it because we ended up as a 2nd seed. Trae Young makes All-NBA 2nd team. So really, we kind of have something going on right now, which is nice to see. But yeah, 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference is probably not something we'll see the Atlanta Hawks do in real life. Like I said, there's things to be excited about with this team, but I can't confidently say that, hey, this team is about to go on a run and be the 1st or 2nd seed. I don't know what it is about Atlanta and 2K. 2K loves Atlanta. I don't know what it is, man. It's weird, but it works out for them. So in round one, we draw. I think, honestly, I low-key think it's the Capella effect. I don't know what it is, but Capella is a damn good simulation player. Don't know, man. Maybe it's not Capella. Maybe it's just a number of different things. But yeah, overall, I mean, the fact that we're the 2nd seed is pretty wild. We'll get the Pacers around 1. We'll see if this Cinderella story stays alive here. We're going to run an rotation in the playoffs, and let's see if we can get out of beating Pacers round 1. And of course, we get limited in 6. So that Cinderella story was quickly removed, and now we get the Knicks and the Mavericks, and the Mavericks going to win it all with Luka Doncic getting his first championship in the NBA. So LeBron, Chris Paul, Lowry, a lot of legends retiring, as you guys can see. So on to the draft lottery we go, and we are projected. What pick is that? That's LA's pick. Yeah, that is from What trade is that from? Or yeah, they got this from the Pelicans. Correct, from the DeJounte Murray trade. The Pelicans own this Lakers pick, and they miss out in the playoffs, so we get a lottery pick on top of what we already have going on, which is great to see. So it's not gonna, we're not gonna get lucky. It's not gonna jump up to top 5 or anything like that. But we do get 13 in a solid draft class, so can't be too mad about that. Quinn Snyder still the head coach. I think we leave that the same. As far as draft night is concerned, I don't think I'll be in the business of trading this pick. I think I'm cool with just kind of rolling forward with it and drafting whoever. So when you have a pick at number 13 from the DeJounte Murray trade, which the Pelicans end up with Cooper Flagg, we get the center going to Duke, or from Duke going to Detroit. Ace Bailey to Utah from Rutgers. VJ coming to Chicago. So we'll see who falls to us. Dylan Harper to Washington. Trey Johnson to Memphis. You got Carter Bryant to Brooklyn. Igor, Michael, Nolan Schroeder to Portland. We got Hugo to Houston. And then finally our pick is coming up. So Ian Jackson goes off the board. All right. So do we want Liam McNeely? Do we want Drake Powell, Joel Bethea, Noah Dink, Colin Murray Boyles, or a Vistage or whatever? But I think I'm going to take the UConn guard here. Liam McNeely as our pick here at number 13. So welcome to Atlanta. Liam McNeely is going to be the selection here. He ends up being a 76 overall out of this draft. Don't draft him all that often. We can also slide him down to small forward if needed. He's 6'7", so we can get away with that. And then we had a later first round pick, and Boogie Flan's a pretty good pick too. So I'm actually kind of happy with that out of Arkansas. Player options: Dyson Daniels, Roddy, and Kobe Buffkin. We can accept all of those. And then no free agents to really worry about too much. You got Dominic Barlow, but yeah, we're fine with that. So for free agency, Capella becomes a free agent, and I do think we're going to keep him around. So pretty cheap contract as well. So I do think we're going to sign him to like a 3-year deal. I'm fine with that. So we're going to bring him back, Capella, securing him. Larry Nance is a very good player in real life too. So if I was Atlanta, if you really did go on this run, I would definitely consider keeping him. But in 2K, he's not very good. He just like regresses like crazy, I've noticed. So probably worry about bringing him back too much. And now you have Trae Young, Kobe Buffkin, Dyson Daniels, and Bogdan. I think Dyson Daniels has been amazing for Atlanta, and he's kind of exactly what Atlanta wanted DeJounte Murray to be for them. Just play defense and score the basketball. And Dyson Daniels has been that, and he was averaging like 6 steals at one point. That obviously probably came back to earth. But so now you have Bogdan's contract, and you have not Zachary Shea, but DeAndre Hunter's contract. So I kind of want to see if I can do something with those two salaries. But Capella Okongwu is going to be our center rotation still. Yeah, but that's kind of where I'm at with this offseason, because I don't want to just run it back with the same team. I do want to make some kind of move here. So as far as like where we go for it, I think if we can get like a upgrade at any of the wing spots, because obviously Capella is our center and Okongwu is backing him up. So shooting guard, small forward, power forward spot. If we can find anything that just kind of fits, we can move Bogdan and Hunter's contract to do so. I think that's kind of where I want to go with this. That's how I want to start this video. So we'll see if we can make something happen with that. We won't sign anyone for agency, I don't think. So I'm just going to simply see what would be out there if we try to trade 2 of these guys at the same time, or trade them in the package together. So unfortunately, I kind of scanned around the league to see if we can make something happen, but I just didn't really see anything that made sense yet. But I will definitely continue to try to see what we can get for those 2, because those are the 2 guys to me that feel the most expendable to this roster. So if at the deadline we're extremely good again and want to take advantage of, trying to improve the roster some way, somehow, those are the 2 guys whose contract will definitely be brought up in the conversation. So we do have to cut 1 player, so I guess it's going to unfortunately have to be Keaton Wallace. But yeah, I'm feeling okay about where we're at. I mean, we just got the 2nd seed last year with the same roster, so I can only assume that things will go very well once again. It's just a matter of how do we better the roster, because once we got in the playoffs, we obviously fell short, crashed and burned, which wasn't too shocking to see, to say the least. But looks like perimeter centric can be a 4-star, but what about pace and space? Pace space is 3.5, so we will leave this a perimeter centric, because it seems like that's what's working best for us. But we did have a couple of guys develop, nothing too crazy. We had Daniels and Ricochet go up, which I like. I do like the starting 5 a lot, but I do also acknowledge that we can better it somehow. Maybe one of these guys come off the bench. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. So Okongwu remains the bench. Hunter, Bogdan, and David Roddy. So that remains the bench right now. Of course, Liam and Kobe Buffkin are just waiting in the shadows to get an opportunity, and those guys could play as soon as this year if we are able to make a move at the deadline that makes sense. But maybe we come back to earth and we're just bad this time around, and that could shift the whole landscape of this video. So depending on how this season goes, a lot of different things could change for the rest of this season. So we're going to start with the trade deadline as we're 24 and 26 on the season. So we're right around that 500 mark. And to me, this is a very important trade deadline because it's either we make the decision to go forward with Trae Young and try to make something happen with him, or we trade him away and reset things. And, you know, I really don't know which one would be the better decision. I mean, personally, I guess if you got to this point, if you're Atlanta, maybe it would be better to just trade Trae Young. But when it comes to a Trae Young trade, just kind of scanning around the league, I'm not 100% sure what team I would do it with. You know, as far as like, I guess Utah is interesting. Like if they want to make a, but they're like really bad right now. They're 25 games under 500. It really doesn't make sense for them. And I guess the Lakers got, you know, Fred VanVleet, but what am I gonna get from them that I feel good about? Right. So I don't know, man. Like it's tough. Brooklyn, I guess, if they wanted to reset things, but they're not close. So I think the better way to go about this probably is just to keep him. And to me, I mean, I guess Houston could really set you up with some things if we try to make a trade with Houston, if they wanted Trae Young services. So I guess that's interesting. But the other option to me, as far as like what teams are bad at the deadline that might be selling some pieces off, like Kuzma obviously was something I looked at. But I think to give us the best bang for our buck here, Kawhi Leonard's interesting as well, but he's just not very good in 2K, unfortunately. Jaren Jackson becomes the interesting piece to me to try to get. If we're going to do anything to try to improve this roster, I think Jaren Jackson is the piece to get. So Jaren Jackson, expiring salary. Memphis is selling. They're not good right now. So they're going to be taking a massive shift. I mean, Bane is also interesting too. But I do think I want the former Depoy and Jaren Jackson. So that is who we're going for. $23 million, 34% from three, 15 points per game. Obviously just gives us, you know, a really good stretch 4, and even could play some 5 or whatever. So as far as what we're offering, of course, that, you know, Biggs, you know, comes in question. Like DeAndre Hunter is going to enter the conversation again. Bogdan could be in there again. So like DeAndre Hunter for Jaren Jackson straight up is probably not something they will be interested in, but like Bogdan, and then maybe we can get Clark. I don't know. So like, yeah, DeAndre Hunter for Jaren Jackson, Brandon Clark, and then we'll offer the Spurs pick, which obviously is a swap. We're going to have to go, you know, in the future in 2029 and then pretend this is a 2031 pick. So we're basically, you know, banking on Jaren Jackson coming over here and being a star connected with Trae Young. And this is the way of going for it. So Hunter, Bogdan, a pick swap with the Spurs, which obviously won't be a good pick probably. Actually, that could be a decent pick just based off where we are. I'm assuming the Spurs are good. I actually don't know that for a fact. But Jackson and Clark, what do you say, Memphis? And they agree. So we get Jaren Jackson. So we choose the direction of sticking with, obviously, Trae Young. So Jaren Jackson becomes a new piece in this Atlanta team, which I do like him. We obviously want to extend him, of course, as soon as possible. So that gives us a pretty good power forward alongside Trae Young going forward. And then Jalen Johnson, of course, is going to move to small forward in this scenario. So Jalen Johnson is going to go to small forward because I do want him to be the starter still. So him and Ricochet will, you know, rotate. So Trae Young, Kobe Buffkin becomes our point guard rotation. That's Dales and Liam. I don't know if he'll get him, you know, minutes this year, but he will next year. Johnson, Ricochet, Jaren Jackson, Gee, and Capella and Okongwu. So that becomes your new rotation. Trae Young, Daniels, Ricochet, Jaren Jackson, Okongwu, Jalen Johnson. Or I guess they want to start Ricochet, but either way, it doesn't really matter. Both of them are going to be really good players for us. You could even maybe find a way to start both of them eventually, I guess. So Okongwu, Ricochet, Capella, David Roddy, and Brandon Clark. So honestly, I'd low-key rather get Liam in there over David Roddy at least. And then that's kind of what we'll roll with. And we don't even need to play Clark too much if we don't need to. We could also throw Kobe Buffkin in there. But I'll leave Clark in there for now. So that's going to be our team for the rest of the season. And low-key, I forgot to move Quinn Snyder's to preferred system to perimeter-centric, I'm pretty sure. So we'll do that. We'll simulate the rest of the season. We're 2 games under 500 right now. Let's see if Jaren Jackson elevates us at all. We gave up a lot to get him, so hopefully he does. So at the end of year 2, Luka Doncic wins MVP. Ace Bailey in Utah wins Rookie of the Year. Cooper Flag, 6th man in New Orleans. Wembanyama Defensive Player. And Alexander Sarr Most Improved. And Shay's your Clutch Player. So Kidd and Hobson is your coach and executive. Solid stuff there. Here's your All-NBA first team. So do we get Trae Young making one of these? Yes, we do. All-NBA third team for Trae Young. All-defensive team. No all-offensive teams or anything like that. But here's our rookie first team. So we do get like Evan Mobley, Chet, and then Claxton made it as well. Kessler's here. Bam Adebayo's here. So definitely interesting things to see. But we ended up as the 5th seed. So we did climb up the standings with, Jaren Jackson coming over, which is good. So 27 from Trae Young, 17.5 from Jaren Jackson, and 17 from Ricochet, 14 from Jalen Johnson, Okongwu with 9, 8 from Capella, and 8 from Dyson Daniels. To me, honestly, ideally, I think we low-key start, it might be, we would have a lot of length on the floor, but I think around Trae Young, that might be ideal. So, like, maybe going forward, once we resign Jaren Jackson, you could have Trae Young starting with Ricochet, Jalen Johnson, Jaren Jackson, and then Okongwu or Capella. That low-key could be nice, although Daniels is a good defender in his own right, too, in 6'7". So, I don't know. We'll see. Let's go ahead and see how we do against Boston. I mean, we could low-key try that out now. So, Jaren Jackson starts. Maybe we just throw Ricochet in there and just kind of see what would happen if we did that. So, Ricochet starts at shooting guard, which would be fun. Or we could switch them either way. But, yeah, so Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, Ricochet, Jaren Jackson, Okongwu in the playoffs. Let's try it. Against Boston, we need some length anyway to guard like guys like Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis, of course, too. So, let's see what happens with the starting 5. And we are going to be in an even dogfight with a team that is, of course, very good in Boston. Let's see if we can come out here and win Game 5 in TD Garden and take this back home in Atlanta in a massive Game 6. Now, this is close, but unfortunately, they steal it at the very end. A little disappointing there. But we go to a simcasting for Game 6 in Atlanta to try to force a Game 7. A lot of suggestions on the left, but we just completely ignored it. And this time, we hang on, barely, but we did hang on. So, it looks like they wanted to start Capella, maybe? I don't know. So, we can, do whatever. We're going to keep this the same, though. I like the length starting with in this Boston series. So let's see if this works out. Daniels, they want to put in the starting 5. I completely get that. But again, I just kind of like the idea of Trae Young with all these tall guys in the court. And it looks good right now for this Game 7. And it looks like that may have worked out. 115-92, 42 from Trae, 26 from Ricochet, and 14 and 15 from Capella. And now we get the New York Knicks in round 2. So this will be interesting. So New York... Game 1 goes to us. Good start. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4, 3-1. And can we beat them in 5? Yes, we can. So just like that, we punch our ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals after making the change with, putting in Jalen Johnson, Ricochet as your starting with Capella, Jaren Jackson. This is fun. This is exciting. Now we get Cleveland, which of course is another team with a lot of length with Mobley and Jarrett Allen starting together. Okoro, Mitchell, Garland. So we'll see how this goes. Game 1 goes to us. Good start. We do have home court advantage, too. We're up 2-0. 2-1. Can we go up 3-1? Yes. And are we going to make a finals appearance? Maybe not yet, but we do have to see if we can win this Game 6 and avoid a Game 7 altogether. The Game 7 would be in Atlanta. I guess we have that going for us, but we are, in fact, going to go to a Game 7. So, it looks like they wanted to give more minutes to Jaren Jackson or something. I don't know what that was all about. But, all right, so give more minutes, give less minutes to Ricochet. We're getting this rock with what we got going on. So, Game 7 in Atlanta to get to the NBA Finals. Can we get it done? We take the lead here, but can we keep it is the question. It's looking okay, but it is a close game. All right, so let's see if we may need to jump into this, close this out. Do we need to, or do we got this? Looks like, okay, it's a 5-point game, a 111 and 116. Allow me to jump in and see if I can close this out really quickly. A minute 41 left in the clock. What are we doing with Craigie on the floor right now? What on earth am I looking at? Okay, well, we're going to inbound it to Jalen Johnson. Wow, I can just dribble around Strus right now, I think. And, yeah, I mean, he played terrible defense there. So, I don't know why Craigie's on the floor of all things, but he is. So, someone must have fouled out, or maybe two. Let me look. Did 2 people foul out or something? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. So, fouls, let's see. Yeah, 6. Yeah, 2 people fouled out, so that makes sense. No Jaren Jackson or Trae Young to close this game, which is very unfortunate game. Ooh. Okay. I was about to say, very unfortunate in Game 7 because, obviously, Game 7, you go home, man. And the fact that we lose 2 of our rotational pieces, 2 starting members, pretty wild. But I'm not sure I agree with Craigie being on the floor. Did they take him out? They put Clark. Okay, so we have 3. No, I guess we have 2 centers out here right now. Well, I'm not sure I agree with it, but whatever. So that's what we're rocking with right now. Ricochet and Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to see if I can just back down Donovan Mitchell. No help defense so far. And that did not work out. Okay, didn't even get a shot meter there. Koro. And all right, let me call timeout. Let me reset things here. Let me put out the players I want to put out. So 3-point game right now. All right, so let's be the coach. And obviously starters fouled out. So it'd be Okongwu, Kobe Buffkin, Daniels. I do want Ricochet out there. So what we'll do is we'll play Ricochet here. We'll play Daniels. Well, we don't need Capella either. Bench, tall, quick. Okay, I don't like. We got 55 seconds to figure this out. All right, so free throw or starters. Let's go back to this. So I don't want to play Okongwu and Capella together. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna take out and put Ricochet here. And that's what we'll rock with. So we will play Kobe Buffkin, I guess. So Kobe Buffkin's going to play some big minutes here. But he's going to be our point guard with Dyson Daniels. And then we have exactly what we're looking for. So, all right. I do understand, though, you know, maybe having another center out here because of Mobley. But I'm just going to rock with this. So we can make this work. Daniels 3. I'm going to rock with it. And it's going to go in. That was a big 3. 115 and 121. Felt like they gave me enough space there. Let's get it. All right, now we just got to get a stop, and we could be in the clear here. That was a massive 3. Donovan Mitchell is going to drive on Capella. Good defense by Capella there. And now we're going to go to... Ooh, Jalen Johnson. Ooh, out. Oh, they foul. Wow, okay, so they're going to foul very early. I was thinking about taking a 3 there, but I was like, no, we got to take some clock off. So, first free throw, very quick, but I was able to make it in anyway. And we're going to go... and have 2 going. All right, 115, 123. Just got to get another stop, and we are headed to the NBA Finals, it looks like. Ooh, Mitchell almost spun into a steal there, I think. 3? I mean, I was there on his hip, so whatever. If you want to take that 3, that's fine. And that might be all she wrote. Only 30 seconds left on the clock. We can take out like 20 seconds. They're not going to foul. All right, so even with 2 guys fouling out, we overcome all odds here. And we are going to, I think, take this to the NBA Finals. Nice screen. A little deeper than I would have wanted. 115, 123. They're going to... Ooh, Garland's wide open. But he's going to pass it to Koro. A Koro 3. He does splash it. 4 seconds left. But, again, that should be all she wrote. We just inbounded to Buffkin. They're going to foul, I think. No foul. All right. So, not a single foul. I thought they would foul. They're going to give up. We're going... the NBA Finals, man. Exciting stuff. Hopefully this time we don't get anybody to foul out in the important games we have coming in the finals. It looks like we're going to draw the Timberwolves in the NBA Finals. So they beat the Mavericks in 6. So obviously we got our work cut out for us here, but let's see how it goes. So game 1 goes to them. Game 2 goes to us. We even it up. Game 3 goes to them. And now we got to see if we can simcast to even the series in game 4. Minnesota's going to have a nice little lead here. So I don't know if we'll get it. Well, we kind of can crawl back in it, but it's not looking like it's going to happen. So maybe we listen to 2K's advice and run with the rotation they think we should rock with and see if that changes anything here at all. But I think next year we are going to run that starting 5 that I kind of like the idea of. It could in theory not work, but yeah, unfortunately we draw all the way to the finals, but we lose. So Minnesota goes on and win it all. But I do think having Jaren Jackson, Ricochet, and Jalen Johnson on the floor at all times with Trey is nice. And then Daniels off the bench is fine too. So we don't have a pick from anybody. And then it looks like the pick we may have given up ended up at 27, which isn't bad. So I'm definitely happy with that. So you can't be too mad about that. And then staff signing, we're obviously going to leave Quinn Snyder. This becomes a very important season coming up. So I do think Trae Young and Jaren Jackson are both free agents. So obviously you got to re-sign both of them to keep things going. But Clark is here still as well for a third-string center option. But Trae Young declines, and we'll accept Guy, Bupkin, and Ricochet will accept. And then, yeah, Daniels. Oh, wow. There's just a lot of important free agents. David Roddy is probably not as needed because we have to spend a lot of money this offseason. So Trae Young, Dyson Daniels wants a bag as well. And then obviously we traded for Jaren Jackson, so we're going to keep him. So David Roddy becomes definitely, we got to get rid of him. We can't bring him back. There's just too much money being spent. But this is the core we want to roll with. So, yeah, we'll definitely spend money on them. All right. Now, let's take a look. So we got Kobe Buffkin, Trae Young, and then Boogie Flan might even play a role next year, depending on how much he develops. Liam's going to play a role next year. Obviously, Jalen Johnson, Ricochet is going to be what we want there too. And then Jaren Jackson, Gee, and then Capella and Okongwu. So, yeah, this looks fine to me. So let's go look at player progression and see what that looks like. And we can rock with what we're going to rock with next year. So, Jalen Johnson up to an 86. Ricochet up to an 83. Dyson Daniels 84, so that's good. Liam's up to an 80, and then Kobe Buffkin's 79, and Boogie Flan's up to 79. So one of them is going to be playing backup point guard. Not sure which one it'll be, but we're going to rock with that same rotation as last year, the one we ran in the playoffs, and we're going to see how it does in the regular season. And we're going to hope that next year we get a championship brought home to Atlanta. And now we are back. So for the first time ever, I think, I don't think I've ever really done this before, but couldn't finish the video last night. So here we are again this morning finishing this up. So let's take a look, kind of recap where we were, obviously. So, well, you guys kind of know, but to refresh my memory, obviously from last night, this is what we got going on. So Trae Young, Jaren Jackson, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, Zachary Shea, Capella, Okongwu, Liam, Kobe Buffkin, and then Boogie Flan. So, of course, the starting five and the rotation for this season is going to look like this. It's going to be Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, Risha Shea, Jaren Jackson, Okongwu. Really like this size with Trae Young in the starting five, as we were talking about yesterday. And then Dyson Daniels as the sixth man. Love that a lot with Capella, off the bench, Liam, and then Boogie Flan is going to take that role over Kobe Buffkin. So, obviously, this feels like a year that we could win a championship. We'll see if that ends up being the case. I'm excited and optimistic for a good regular season, and hopefully it leads us to like a top 3 seed in the East, preferably the first seed in the East, and we maybe go on and bring home a championship to Atlanta. So at the end of this season, Luka Doncic wins MVP, AJ Rookie of the Year in Houston, Amon Thompson, sixth man, Wembanyama Defensive Player, and Devin Carter Most Improved in Sacramento. Don't think I've ever really seen that before, so that's pretty cool. Jokic Clutch Player, and Jason Kidd is your Coach of the Year. So we did get our wish, man. We ended up being a really good top seed in the Eastern Conference, which is what we wanted. Trae Young does not make an All-NBA team this year, though, so probably had a lot more help scoring-wise. All defensive teams, we don't have anybody there or anything like that. And then we did have, obviously that, what was his name? I forget his name already, but our backup point guard was a rookie because he didn't play last season, Boogie Flan. He didn't make one of these either. Okay, so we are the first in the East, so kind of downplayed on how we finished out. But 57-25, top of the Eastern Conference. Taking a look at the player stats and kind of seeing what that looked like. So, yeah, 22.5 from Trae Young, 19 from Jaren Jackson, 16 from Risha Shea, 11 from Jalen Johnson, 11 from Liam as well. 11 and 9 to go with Jalen Johnson as well. So if your shooting guard's averaging 9 rebounds, that feels pretty good. Obviously, you got a lot of size in the starting five. We'll see if that translates to championships. So as we're going to draw Miami in round one, who have Markelle Fultz, Hero, Butler, Tobias Harris, and Bam Adebayo, Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, and Khalil Ware. So here we go. Game one goes to us. Good start. Game two goes to us. So far, so good. And it looks like we might sweep the Miami Heat. We do. So no sweat there. We're on to round two. And now we'll play the Indiana Pacers, who can definitely give us some problems in 2K25. Looks like they got Jalil Bethea as the starting shooting guard with Halliburton, of course, Benedict Mathurin, Siakam, Turner, Nembhard, Darius Walker, Obi Toppin, and Aaron Nesmith. So we'll see how this series ends up going game by game here again. So game one goes to us. So good start, beat them by 2. Game 2 goes to them. So they win on our home floor. So we got to return the favor. It looks like they want to shake up the rotation. So let's see what that looks like. So they want to start Liam over Risha Shea, which I guess is interesting, but sure, I'll rock with it for a game, and it's looking like they might take this one. We might find ourselves, oh, wait, we get back in it, and can we take it at the end? We do. So 114-105. We want to keep it the same. Yeah, we want to keep it the exact same. Let's simcast again. Simcast seemed to work last time in game 3, so let's see if we can do the same thing in game 4. Trying to punch our ticket to the conference finals. I already think we went to the finals, if I remember, last night. And we are going to lose and let them even it up. Okay. It's a massive game 5 ahead of us, of course. They still want to start Liam here. So game 5 in Atlanta. We got to win this one. This is a must win. If we don't win this, probably put ourselves in a pretty bad position. So let's see if we can win this one. And we are going to win game 5. So that's massive. Now it's time to find out if we can win game 6. They want to shake up the rotation again. Risha Shea is back in. Time for the game 6 of all game 6s. This is to get to the conference finals in the East. I really don't want to go to a game 7, but it looks like we may not have a choice. And we are going to go to a game 7 with the Pacers here. All right, game 7. All right, let's see. They want to put Capella back in the starting 5, it looks like. That's fine with me. Game 7 in Atlanta to go to the conference finals. They start off with the lead in the first quarter. Can we take it back in the second? And they are going to beat us pretty badly here in game 7 in the second round. So, unfortunately for us, 124-112 does not go our way. The Pacers go to the finals, and they almost win the championship. So, really unfortunate. I thought we could definitely get a championship this season. Did not work out that way. So, I think what we'll do, Brooklyn gets 1 and 2 back-to-back, by the way. But what we're going to do is simply run this right back. I think Liam's going to get better. We could maybe even hire a different head coach, but I think Quinn Snyder is fine to just bring back. So, we'll bring back Quinn Snyder. and we'll get straight into next season because I'm cool with this lineup that we have going on right now. I'm going to make this next season the last one. We have 14th overall in this draft, though. Let's see what we get at number 14. So number 14, I might have auto-generated the draft class last night because I felt so confident about maybe being good enough to win, but obviously that did not work out. So maybe I took a little bit of a gamble there, but we got Rolando McKinney and Craig Berry in round 2. So I guess we'll sign both of them. Reggie, we could accept as depth, and then qualifying offer is Kobe Buffkin. I mean, he didn't play last year for us, but I definitely think keeping around is probably still beneficial. So, oh, $20 million. Never mind. Never mind. That's a little too much money, my friend. I don't even think you were in the rotation last year. Can't justify giving you $20 million. But let's just go to player progression, kind of seeing what that's looking like. And we got Jalen Johnson up to an 87, Daniels 86, Risha 85, and Boogie Flant up to an 84. So, yeah, he definitely clears Buffkin. Buffkin came back on his qualifying offer. Could not, justify giving him $20 million. But this team only got a little bit better. So hopefully next season, championship goes our way. So another really good season and this final chance of winning a championship. Just had to show this, though. The Mavericks won 71 freaking games. And as I'm recording this, Luka Doncic apparently is expected to miss a week. So unfortunate for the Dallas Mavericks. But here is your All-NBA teams. Once again, no Trae Young. Now, it was funny because 2K was actually suggesting we started Boogie Flant over Trae Young and have Trae Young come off the bench. Obviously, I didn't really do that. Don't think that made a ton of sense. But he did average 15 points off the bench. 17 from Jaren Jackson, 19.5 from Risha, and then 20 from Trae Young. So, without further ado, obviously, this needs to be our title run of all title runs if we're going to get it done. I want to put Liam in the starting 5 again. Toronto in round 1. If we lose in round 1, we don't deserve to win a championship. So, let's just only curve around against Toronto. And we are going to beat them in 6. Honestly, I thought we might have lost there. But now we get Detroit. That's Cade, Ivy, Asar, Bobby. This is going to be a tough series already. Looking at this on paper, we got our work cut out for us here. Game 1 goes to Detroit. Game 2, we even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. And we might be in the clear. Unless... Nope, going to a Game 7. So Game 7 at Atlanta. And this is to get out of the second round. We were not able to get out of the second round last year. Are we going to fall short again of our goal? Maybe I should have simcasted the last 3 games, but here we are. And we are going to... Wow, I thought we lost. We just barely beat them by 1 point. Holy moly, that was close. But hey, a win is a win. And now we're going to play the Chicago Bulls, who have Josh Giddey, a developed VJ Edgecombe. Below is there. Patrick Williams, Chris, Kobe White, Davion Mitchell, and Montaz Bazela. So this is going to be a tough series as well. But... I'm looking to get back to the finals, hopefully. So game 1 goes to Chicago. Game 2, and we're not going to have a chance, are we? Down 3-0. And we're going to... Well, we might be able to come back from 3-0 deficit. You never know, I guess. But they want to keep, messing with the starting 5. So here we go. I don't think it makes sense to keep changing the rotation. But if we win this one and force a game 6, things become interesting at the very least. Found ourselves down 3-0 at 1 point. And they kind of made it close at the end, but not really. And now it's time for this game 6 to force a game 7. This one's in Chi-Town. Doesn't look like they're going to give this lead up unless we get back in at the very end. And nope. So we are not going to win a championship in today's video, unfortunately, unless we go on a crazy run here to end things off, which we're kind of on their ankles, but I don't think we're going to get back the lead, unfortunately, unless we hit like 2 threes here. I mean, it's kind of there for the take. It's 107 to 112. I got to try at least, right? Let me try to force a game 7, 107 to 112. What do I have to lose? If we lose, we don't win a championship. If we make something happen, then hey, we win. So let's try. So we're down 5 right now. So it's not impossible to come back, but definitely small room for error here. So it's kind of hoping Jaren Jackson would go out to the perimeter. Did not really work out that way. Liam, I'm trying to get a 3 off, and yeah, I'm going to throw it. Yeah, just like I said, I got nothing to lose at this point. Josh Giddey got the steal. I didn't really find a shot that I liked, and now that's probably going to be the game sealer. So we're going to have to hit a 3 if we want any chance. Probably should have just taken a 3 when I had the chance. I'm going to go Jaren Jackson 3. And that's going to be okay. You know what? That was a massive 3. We're not dead yet. We needed that. And now we got to guard Josh Giddey and try to get... Oh my goodness. What was that defense? Okay, he's going to pass it out. Oh, that's a 3. He misses it. We have a chance. Just saying, there is a chance. Going to go Trae Young here. The ref is right on Liam's corner. All right, Trae Young. And I'm going to throw another steal. I thought he would just go out to the perimeter, bro. Oh, my gosh. Trae Young cut to the inside. I thought he was going out. That's just so annoying. Daniels 3. He's open. And, I don't regret the shot. Unfortunately, does not go in, though. and now we're gonna play the foul game. So yeah, unfortunately fall short. I got to the finals once this video, and now to the conference finals, but Giddy is going to steal this game away more than likely. Just a couple bad passes on my end. That definitely was a doable comeback, but I just turned it over twice like an idiot. So it is what it is. You know, we could still try here, but more than likely, obviously, this game is over. 3 Trae Young. So yeah, not gonna go in. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. Felt like I felt pretty good about what we put on the floor around Trae Young, and that's gonna be the nail in the coffin if there wasn't one already, unfortunately. But yeah, that sucks. Really unfortunate, because I really wanted to get to the finals again to get a chance here, but fortunately we're not going to get that chance. And I didn't even see the shot meter that time. I don't know if it blended in or just didn't show up. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. This is Crushables. I'm saying. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.